This conference will now be recorded.
So as of now, till now, we are discussing as part of our course, we have discussed the data warehousing concepts, right? And then SQL part. So these two topics we have completed as till now. Okay. The next topic we are going to start the ETL testing, ETL validations. How we are going to perform the ETL validation from the one stage to another stage, one schema to another schema. Okay. Here how we are going to do this one, we can learn from today onwards. Okay. So earlier I explained the ETL means what is the ETL. Everyone guys, please explain what is the ETL. So ETL is nothing but we're going to extract the data, and then we are doing the transformations and then loading into some place. Okay, extraction, transformation, and then load. Okay, how it will be there? We'll see. Just I'm going to explain one more time.
Extraction from source.
Yeah. So these are the source systems. We call it as a source system. For example, take the central.
Resources are stored one place.
Okay, thank you guys. So these are the source systems. Okay, means one source, second, two source, three source, like that. There are multiple sources. So they're getting the data from the different format. Different format, we are able to get the data in the real time. Either it will be table format, or the flat file format, or it will be legacy format. Okay, like that, multiple formats we are able to get the data in the real time. Okay, so these all the data, whatever the data is there, we call it as sources. So from where we are getting that, we call as sources. Okay, so these data we are extracting by using the any tool. By using the any tool, means for example, the any tool means take the one of the ETL tool. So by using the ETL tool, okay, this is the ETL tool. So the many sources, what are the sources are there? From all the sources we are going to extract and then loading into the one place, loading into some place. Okay, so extraction, transforming, and then load. So that is called the ETL, extracting, transforming, and then loading. But the real time, how it will be there, real time. Okay, again they are going to use one more ETL, and then they load into the here. Okay, see, these are source systems. I'm dragging here, and then extracting into the one layer. Okay, we call as a stage layer. We call as a stage layer. Okay, and then again from stage 2, again we are going to extract. Again we are going to use the ETL, and then the loading into the another database. Okay, so this we call as a source systems. Okay, and this is the ETL tool. We are going to use the ETL tool. This we call as a stage layer. Called as a stage layer, and this is we called as a target layer. The naming convention is this is like that, guys. Target layer. Okay, so this also ETL layer, ETL tool. Okay, so whatever the data is there, those data we are going to extract by using the ETL tool, and then loading into the stage layer first. Once all the data, first we are going to this source and this source and this source. So like all the data, whatever the data of the multiple sources, every data it loaded into the stage layer once. From that onwards, from stage layer to again we are going to extract by using the ETL tool, and then load into the target layer. So 99% these two are in the same data, same server, same database. Either it would be Oracle, means this also will be Oracle. This SQL server means this SQL server. The Hive means Hive. Okay, these two are in the same databases, same kind of database, but the different schema. For example, this is Scott, this is the batch 4. So like that we use the two schemas, like we practiced it, Scott and batch 4. So like that, but the database will be same. Okay, the schema will be different. Okay, but here in the stage layer, in the real time, it will always will be only 1 day worth of the data. Means 1 day means whenever you run the job, it will be truncate and load the table. Here it will be truncate and load every time. Whenever you run the job, it will truncate the tables and then load the data here. Means, so we are maintaining the only one-time data, 1 day data. Okay, only 1 day data, it will worth of the data, it will load into the stage layer. From here, they're applying all the transformation logics. Whatever the logics are there, those logics they're applying from the stage to target layer. Okay, so here they won't apply any logics. 99.9% they won't any logics, they won't apply, because we are the different source systems, right? Just they are going to extract all the source system data and then loading into one place. That's it. Just extracting and then ingesting the data here. They're not applying any transformation logics in the from source to stage layer. Okay, why? Because so this is a different source system, different database, and this is a different database, right? So if we are applying any transformation, then it will take the time consuming process, as well as so we need to, for example, here we have some tables are there, here we need to some tables are there. Okay, we have to derive the one column from these two sources. This is the one table, this is the one table. So these kind of the complexity, so they're going to override in so it will be more than complexity. That is the reason first they will extract the data, whatever the data is there, those data they'll keep into the one layer, stage layer. From here to they'll apply the transformation easily. Okay, they're already extra all the data, different kind of data, they're extracted and then ingested into the one layer, right? So that's why here they do easily they will apply the logics, all the join conditions or functions or whatever they're applying the logics. So that logic they're going to apply in from stage to target layer. Okay, from stage to target they're going to apply all the transformation logics. So the interview point of view, they'll ask from source to stage, is there any logics they're going to apply? So we have to tell, so they're not going to apply any transformation logic from source to staging, just they're going to extract and then ingest the data, 1 day worth of the data they're going to ingest into the stage layer. So always the stage layer will be truncate and load. Whenever we execute the job, so for example in a day we are executing 2 times, the 2 times it is going to truncate and load. Okay, it won't be means 1 day means all the 1 day data to load, and the next day only it won't truncate. Whenever we execute the job, it will always be truncate and load in the real time. Okay, that is a source to stage. Okay, from stage to target. So like that is sometimes it will be more layers. Source to stage, stage to stage to stage to target. The basic will be standard will be like this: source to stage, stage to target. Okay, I'll tell you in my real time. I'll tell you. Yeah, we have source to stage. The staging naming convention will be different. Okay, RDS. This is a raw data structure. Raw data structure. We call as the stage name we call as RDS. From RDS again we will into one more stage. That naming convention is a PPL. Means pre-processing layer. We call as a pre-processing layer. So that's why they will keep their own names. Okay. Next will be target layer. Means this is a visualization layer. We call it a VL layer. Okay. Like that, from source to stage they won't apply any transformation. From stage to RDS to PPL they applied some transformation. From PPL to VL also they apply the transformation. So in this case we have to validate the data from source to staging properly loading or not, from staging to another staging is loading or not, from staging to target is loading or not. So 3 times we have to do the validation here. That is depends upon the requirement. They're going to build the stages here, how many stages we required. Okay, but the standard format will be one source to stage, stage to target layer. Okay, that is the standard format. So you can tell the interview point of view, how many stages are there, how many, what is the directly they're loading from the source to target or like that they will ask in the interview. Okay, no, we are the load the first stage layer. The stage layer will be always will be truncate and load. From stage 2 they are applying the all the transformations logics and then loading into the target layer. Like that we have to tell, we have to like that it will be there in the real time also. Okay, the architecture, this is the architecture. So come to the what and all we have the ETL tools. What kind of ETL tools in the market? Tell me guys, the ETL tools.
Informatic,
So yeah, one of those is Informatica.
talent,
Fine.
talent,
Yeah, fine.
mm, SS,
SSIS. Okay. SSIS. Yeah, still SSIS and then ODI, Oracle Data Integrator. Okay. SAP BODS. SAP BODS. Business Object Data Services. Data Designer Services. Business of the Designer Services. Okay. Next will be ab initio. It's data stage. So like that, the so many tools are there, guys, in the real time. If you learn one tool here, if you show the one tool here, if you go the company, then they are the different tool. Okay. So here we are not bothering about the tools. So either it could be Informatica, Talent, ODI, anything. So our intention is we have to learn here how we are going to validate from source to stage and what kind of validations we are performing from source to stage and stage to target. That is important, that we have to learn here. Okay, leave it about the tools. That it would be either any Informatica, Talent, any tool. Our ingestion process, our validation will be same. You can take any ETL tool or the validation will be same. Okay, for example, if you keep your resume in the Informatica, okay, maybe they given the talent, so they will give you talent KT, how you have to access the talent, how you have to run the jobs, all those things they will provide. Okay, once the jobs has run execution, then you have to start your validation, so data is ingested correctly or not, and the quality of the data is loaded or not, ingested or not. Okay, okay, we'll see. The overview of the ETL. Okay, understand, right, guys? Any doubts here? The ETL, how it will be the data ingestion. Okay, this is the real time also, guys. The same way it will load in the real time also. There is no difference in the real time. Okay, I told depends upon the project. They have to build the different stages, their requirement. Okay, stage source to stage, stage to stage 1, stage 2 to target, or minimum will be one stage layer. Minimum is one stage layer. It will be required based on the required more stages also. It could be there. Okay. So the ETL is nothing but the extract, transform, and load is used to populate the data in the data warehousing. So this load is nothing but the where we are going to load here. So this we call as a data warehousing. But the real time we call as a naming convention is a target. We name call as a target. We call as a target. Target is nothing but the data warehouse. Okay, this is the loading. So the final loading will be the target table. So extraction is where data is pulled from the source system. So where we are pulling the data, that we call as a source system. For example, here you can see for this, what is the source here? This is the source. For target layer, what is the source means? Stage layer is a source. Correct? From here we are going to pull the data and then loading into the final layer, right? For target layer, the source will be stage layer. For stage layer, the source will be source systems. Okay, So databases. So it could be the source systems I told in the first class. It could be the homogeneous and heterogeneous source systems. So homogeneous source system is nothing but the same kind of format. The homogeneous is nothing but the same kind of data format. For example, the Oracle is there, SQL Server is there, DB2 is there. So these are all the different databases, but the format will be same, the table format, right? We are getting the data from the table format. Okay, that kind of data, that kind of sources we call as a homogeneous sources. The heterogeneous sources is nothing but it will be multiple formats. For example, one source we are getting from the Oracle. So Oracle database means table format. We are getting the data in the table format. Another source we are getting from the flat file. Means maybe TXT or CSV or JSN. So like that, multiple flat files are there, as CSV file, a text notepad, or the Excel format, or the JSON or XML, like the different kind of format. Okay, but this we call as a flat file. So one source we are getting the table, one source we are getting the flat file. These kind of sources we call as a heterogeneous sources. Okay, see, that's why database example Oracle, DB2, Teradata, SQL Server, the flat files CSV, TXT, XML, XLS, JSON. So we are getting the pulling the data from the different multiple source systems. Either it could be one or more. It's a mandatory, it's not a mandatory this many source system we have in the project. Either it could be one source or two sources, three sources, four sources. So that is a depends upon the requirement of the project. Okay, it could be one or more source systems. You can say in the interview, I have the if you're explaining is difficult, you can say only one system. My source will be only Oracle, and then loading into the Oracle. You can able to say, or my source will be Oracle, loading into the SQL Server. So like that you have to tell in the interview point of view. Okay. Next, so the extraction is nothing but the where we are going to pull the data, and the transformation is nothing but the data transforms into new format according to the business rules. Okay, whatever the source data is there, so after applying the some transformation business rules, they are going to apply. And okay, in data transforms all the business logics will be applied. Okay, so the transformations are most complex part of the data warehousing, because that is the main intention, right? So for the analysis purpose, so we are applying all the business rules on top of the source data. So what are the source data we are extracted? So this source data, this is we are extracted the source data, right? On top of this source data, they are applying all the business logics, how they want the data for analysis purpose. Okay, this logic they are going to apply in we call as a transformations, transforms. We're going to apply the transformations. Okay, that we call as a T is nothing but the transformations. Okay, so these transformation logics we have to validate as part of the ETL validation. Sorry, any doubt, guys? Any doubt here? Okay, the last will be load, means where the data we are going to load, where we are going to ingest the data. Load is where the data is loaded into data warehousing. So that also it could be Oracle, DB2 databases or fat files. Okay, sometimes guys, first they load into the database. Here database, on top of the database they're going to in the flat file. Sometimes the requirement will be there, they want to load the flat file and then they want to send to the either mail or drive or something. So first they load the target database, means database. On top of the database they'll generate the files also, flat files, the table data, the same table data they're going to extract and then share it to the business user. Either it could be JSON format, or it could be CSV format, or it could be Excel format, Okay, sometimes they are going to give the format also. That's why they said as a flat files and databases. Okay, guys. That's why the target database should be database as well as the flat file. Both, it could be both. Okay. So this is the extraction ETL overview. Any doubts, guys, up to here on the ETL part? Any doubt?
No.
Okay. So next we are going to the, so they will ask in the interview and testing life cycle. What is the testing? What you have to do the activity as part of the testing. Okay. We'll discuss the testing life cycle. Just I'm saving this one. Okay. Okay. So testing life cycle. Okay. So any project, for example, anything we have to start. First of all, we have to understand the module, right? We have to understand first of all. Otherwise, we can't. Without understanding, we can't do anything. So what is the business requirement? Okay, what is the functionality? What they are doing? What kind of data we are getting? So what is the business the customers they're doing? Okay, what kind of business they are developing? So these kind of we have to understand first of all. Okay, not only we are doing the validation, the QA means is equal to the BA, business analyst. Means you have to understand the data, then only we have to do the testing properly. Okay, we have to understand the business functionality, then only we can able to do the all the scenarios we are going to perform properly. Okay, that's why the most of the QA people are going for next level will be BA only. So developer, it won't go. Developer will simply whatever the requirement they're given, so they're going to develop and they're given. They won't think about the functionality, all those things. The developers. Okay, simply the development and then they'll give to the QA. But as part of the QA people, we have to perform. We have to understand the functionality of the business. Then only we can able to do the 100% data quality testing. Okay. The first phase will be understanding the requirement analysis. So first phase of the testing will be we have to understand the requirement. Okay, even if they give the any task to you, so you can't say directly, you can't go and start the test cases. You can't go and start the validations, right? First we have to understand the requirement, what they're given, what is the scope, what is out of scope, so where it is coming from, where it is loading, what kind of transformations logic they implemented. So these all kind of things you have to analyze first. Okay, that's why we call the first phase we call the requirement analysis, the life cycle, testing life cycle. Okay, the ETL testing requires the tester who understand the basic knowledge on the ETL tool, strong on the databases and basic unique commands and manual testing knowledge. So as a ETL tester, you have to know these kind of knowledges. Basic, that's why I'm saying the basic knowledge on the ETL tool. It's not a mandatory, but basic knowledge. At least one tool, how we are going to execute the job, all those things, where we are going to execute. This kind of information we have to know as part of the ETL tool. Okay, and then strong knowledge on the database. That's why I told you have to practice SQL more. If SQL practice, you can easily survive in the as a ETL tester. Strong on the database. So these are the basic on the Unix commands. So this will be only 10% maybe we can able to use in the real time. Most of the web, as per my experience of 14 years experience, so I use maybe 1 or 2 times or maybe some 1 or 2 projects only. So it's not all required, but we have to know the basic commands also, the unique commands. What kind of commands we are going to use in the real time if required. Okay, and then manual testing. Manual testing, why I told manual testing, how to prepare the test cases, how to prepare the test data, how to test execution, how to capture the test results, how to raise a defect. So these and all will come under the manual testing, and which methodology you are going to use. So how to prepare the test plan. So these everything will come under the manual testing concepts. Okay, so we have to, as a ETL, we have to go for the ETL as a tester means we have to know these kind of knowledges. So ETL tool knowledge, strong on the database, basic unique command, and the basic manual testing concepts. Okay. So as of now, we are going to completed the strong on database thing. We have completed our concept. Now we are going to see the knowledge on the ETL tools. Then we'll go for the basic and the Unix command next, and the manual testing concepts also we are going to cover in the class. Okay. Below the various phases followed in the ETL testing. First of all, the requirement analysis. Okay. First of all, the requirement analysis. So review the BRD document or technical specification document or mapping document. Okay. So in the real time, they're going to share some document, guys. They're going to share some document. That document naming you have to know. Okay. I'm give the some document list. So this is the most probably these kind of documents are there in the real time. Depends upon the company and project. Maybe it will be naming conversion is different. Documents. What kind of documents we need? Means BRD means business requirement document. We called as a specification requirement document, or we called as a high level design document, or we called as a low level design document. So anything is there. Depends upon the company, the naming convention will be different. Some companies they call as a BRD, some companies they call as SRD, HLD, LLD. Okay, and then yeah, so like that they told us a one document these things. Okay, this is one of the document. So one more important document for us as a ETL tester, so mapping document. This is a one document, and this is a one more document. Okay, these two documents. Okay, as part of the ETL testing, we require these two documents. We have to understand these two documents, either BRD as well as the mapping document. We have to thoroughly understand these two documents at the time of the requirement analysis. Okay, so mapping document, they will ask what is the mapping document, what kind of fields will be there, what kind of information will be there in the mapping document. Okay, I will tell you guys the mapping document. I will tell you. First, you can see the BRD and the mapping document. First, we have to go review the business requirement document and then mapping document as part of the analysis. Review with the BRD and technical specification document and the mapping document. So these two will be same, guys, and the mapping document. Okay, attend the technical specification walkthrough to understand the above documents. So they will provide the KT as well as the functionality of the business. The project meeting sheet will be there, guys. Before going to start any project, so they will conduct the project meetings to clearly explain the functionality and the business requirement. So we have to attend those meetings. Okay, and work with the business analyst to understand the structure and the usage of the source and target system. Means where it is coming from, where it is loading, and what kind of business is there, what kind of transactions is happening, the logics, functionality, everything you have. After going these two steps, review of the BRD, attend the technical BRD meeting, QA meeting, okay, a project meeting. If you any doubts, still you have any confusion, you have any ambiguity, you have to discuss with the BA guys, business analyst guy, or whoever the high level people are there. So you have to discuss with that guys and to get it the clarify of the requirement. Okay. So in your requirement analysis, you have to clear these things. Are the requirements are complete? You have to get the answer. You have to know the answer for these questions. Are the requirements are complete? Are the requirements are testable? Okay. Are the requirements are clear? Are still any confusion on the requirements? So you have to answer. You have to know the answer for these three questions. You have to take the for the self. You have to think about yourself. These are the questions you have to get in your mind. You have to get the answer for these all the three questions. You have the answer or not. Okay. So requirement testing. Okay. Next, identify all the issues. If you have any confusion, you have found any issue on the requirement document. Okay, a mapping document. Okay, so this you feel this is incorrect. It's not that as expected. Okay, identify all the issues and work with the BA to clarify the data related issues, mapping related issues, transformation logics. Okay, and make sure that there are the no gaps between the you and BA or the developer. All are in the same page at the time of the requirement analysis. Clear, guys? The requirement analysis clear, right? So we have to follow the BRD document and the mapping document, and then we have to do any kind of test activities based on these two documents only. Very important in the mapping document for us. Okay. So once the requirement analysis completed, then we have to prepare the test artifacts. We call the test documents, test design documents. We call the test artifacts. Okay. That is the test plan or test strategy. Test strategy document or test plan document. Okay. Test strategy document, test plan document. What is a test strategy document? What is a test plan document? Any guys, any idea? Who are the? I think some people are the manual testers here. They already work, so they already know the manual testing concepts. Can you please explain what is a test strategy document or test plan document? Okay. So
Yeah.
the test strategy yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I can give some insight on this.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is like in test strategy and test plan, we actually identify the project specific into steps and also the testing approach, like
Yeah.
how to achieve a particular functionality. In order to test it, then all the approaches are defined in test plan and test strategy.
Yeah. Correct. So in the test strategy document, they're going to define the approach, how we are going to test. Okay, this will be constant, guys. We can't, once it is approved, we can't able to change the test strategy document. They can't modify the test strategy document. Once it is approved, we can't modify. Okay. So these documents are going to prepare the who is the leads or managers. Okay, not for a 3 years of senior people or junior people. Okay. Strategy means approach defined. What kind of approach defined? Okay, what kind of approach we are going to test for the requirement? Okay, that is they mentioned in the strategy document. Which strategy we are going to follow for this testing, this project? So that they will mention in the test strategy document. Okay, and then test plan. Mainly it will be the three points. The overall of the test plan means what to test, when to test, who to test. So like that they can able to define the test plan. Means what we are going to test, means scope and out of scope we are going to define here the test plan. So what are we going to test, what we are not going to test, we have to mention in the they have to mention in the test plan. And when to test, when we are going to start the testing timelines. Okay, when we are going to start this testing, when we are going to end the testing, then who to test, who is the resources, who are going to involve in this testing. So these kind of information they described in the test plan. Okay, what to test, when to test, how to test. Yeah, how to test they are going to mention in the test strategy. So here the what to test means how to test, so what to test, how to test, both will be okay. So what to test, when to test, and who to test. So these kind of information they are going to provide in the test plan. So these two documents they are going to prepared by the managers or leads. So over the experience more than 5 years, 6 years, 7, those guys they are going to prepare these documents. Okay, so not the 2 years, 3 years guys, they won't give this kind of document to prepare. Okay, so we'll discuss the in-depth what kind of fields are there, after information is there in this test plan document in the manual testing concepts. Okay, as of now they have to go for the next phase will be test plan document. Okay, the next phase will be test scenarios and test cases. Test scenarios and test cases. So before we going to start the validation, guys, very important, we have to prepare the test cases. Okay, these test cases you have to review with someone, that we call a peer review. Okay, you have to share, once you prepare the test cases, you have to send your lead or whoever you are going to reporting. Okay, you have to share your test cases to them. Okay, they will review what you have covered, all the scenario, all the test cases or not. If you are anything missing, they will give you the comment, then you have to do the amendments accordingly. Okay, the test scenarios and test cases. We are going to next phase will be, we are going to based on these documents, based on the BRD document or mapping document, we are going to prepare the test scenarios and test cases. Scenario means, for example, job validation is a one scenario. So under the job validation, we are going to do the different kind of test cases we have to performing. For example, login is a one scenario, right? Then now the different ways you have to test the login. The login is correctly working fine, not if you give the correct username, correct password. So like that, many ways we are going to test the testing, right? Those things we call as the test cases. The scenario wise we are going to prepare the test cases. Okay, guys. So this is a mandatory, guys. Before going to start, they have to prepare the test cases, and I will show you the test cases. What kind of, I will give you the tomorrow class. What kind of testing we have to do, perform all the test cases. I will share you template. Okay. So these test cases, so you have to send the review for that we call it peer review to your leads or who are the superiors. You have to get it before you are going to start the execution, you have to get it the approval of the test cases. Okay, the next phase will be test execution. Test execution means whatever we prepare the test cases, we have to start the execution. So we have to start the validation. Execution is nothing but the validation. Whatever we prepare the test cases, those things we have to validate. Those test cases we have to validate. Okay, that we call the test execution. So once the test case execution validation, if you found anything, any defects, then you have to raise a defects, that we call as a defect life cycle. defect life cycle. I'll explain guys in the manual testing what is the defect life cycle. So we have to raise the defects, okay, and then we have to prepare the sign off document. Finally, we are going to give the sign off. Sign off or test closure report or TCR document or QA sign off document. That depends upon the company. They'll cause a different name, either QA sign off document, test closure document, or test completion report. So like that, they'll sell the different naming convention. Final document. Okay, these are the different life cycle in the testing. Okay, first requirement analysis, test doc design, test document design, test cases preparation, test execution, and then defects. If you any found the defects, we have the defect life cycle, and then the QA sign off document. So these are the different kind of the phases are there in the testing life cycle. Clear guys? Any doubts here? So this is very important guys. They'll ask in the interview point of view. Can you explain the testing life cycle? Can you explain the defect life cycle? They will ask this one. What you are going to do the requirement analysis? What is the test plan? What kind of fields will be there in test plan? Have you prepared the test plan? So these all kind of questions they will ask in the interview point of view guys. Okay, you have to tell the have you prepared the test plan means no, I didn't get the chance to prepare, but I know the what are the fields will be there in the test plan. Then you have to explain the what kind of fields will be there in the test plan, because everyone they'll see the test plan in the real time, but whoever the senior or lead people they prepare, they'll share to everyone. So you have to go through the test plan. Based on the test plan, based on the scope of the testing only, we have to start our test cases, right? So you have to tell, I know the test plan, but I didn't get the chance to prepare, but I know the test plan. What kind of information will be there in the test plan? So like that, you have to give the answer in the interview. Okay, and the test cases, and the next phase will be test execution, defect life cycle, and the TCR document. So they will mention, they will ask what are the content will be the document TCR test closure document. So I will tell you this those kind of information I'll give you. But these are the different phases in the testing life cycle. Clear guys? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. So just you mentioned in the here the high level, the requirement analysis, and then test plan, scope, out of scope, test approach, test environment, test estimates, resource allocation, preparation of the test cases with all possible scenarios, review the test cases with the leads or BA. So these things, these are the two phases I'm just combining. These two phases I'm combining here. Okay. Sometimes we need to prepare the test data because of the flow will be, we are going to mainly validate the data, right? Where is that one? Yeah. So we are doing the data validation here. We're not doing anything, right? We are doing the data validation. If it's not available data here, then it won't insert anything to here in the stage layer or here to here, right? So that time we have to prepare some test data to validate the functionalities are working as expected or not. Whatever the implemented the logics, right? Business logics, those things working fine or not. For that time we have to prepare some test data. Means we have to do the insert data in the source systems. The test data always we are going to prepare in the source side, guys, not in the stage layer, not in the target layer. Okay, the test data we have to prepare in the source systems. Sometimes it will be available, sometimes we have the access, sometimes we don't have the access. That time we have to raise a test data request. So who are the corresponding teams, they'll prepare the test data and they'll give. If you have the access, then you have to prepare the test data. That's why I'm told the insert statement, update statement, all those things I have given and explained in the SQL concepts, SQL topic. So we have to prepare the test data in the source side. We have to insert the data by using the insert commands, DML commands. Okay. So before going to test data, we have to understand the structure of the source data. What are the columns are there? What are the constraints are there? What are the referential integrities are there? So those things you have to understand. Okay. Make sure all the tables are updated with the relational data with our one or more, means referential integrity. I explained the guys last time. Okay, whenever I'm going to insert EMP table. Okay, for example, if you want, I insert the one record in the EMP table. Insert into EMP values. Sorry, EMP. I'm going to pass some values. EMP number, rename, salary, DPT number. Okay, values. So 102. I'm going to give some name. Salary. I'm going to give 90 department. Okay. See, try to insert this one. See what happened? FKDPT number violated. Means this is the because of the this is a child table. This is a foreign key. This table will be the parent table will be there in the DPT table. First you have to insert the DPT 90 in the main parent table. Then only we can able to insert into the data into the child table. So this is called as a referential integrity. Okay, that these kind of things you have to first understanding the before you are going to prepare the test data. Is there any referential integrity? So first that table you have to insert, and then only you can able to insert in the your table. Okay, these kind of thing you have to understand before going to prepare the test data. Make sure all the tables are updated with the relational data with one or more tables. That is called as a referential integrity. Clear, guys? Ensure that the test data is created in all the associated tables after thoroughly understand the data model. So if you want to insert this record, means first you have to go and insert the DPT table. Insert into DPT 90. Okay, and go into some department, some location. Okay, you guys were showing some error. What is the error here? Recognize parallel recognition. Sorry, values. Guys, you didn't tell. You have to give the syntax correct, right? Values I didn't give. See, one row inserted. Now you can go and insert this record, it will insert. See, one row inserted. Earlier it throw the error because of the this 90 is not available in the my parent table. Now I inserted 90 in the my parent table, and then I'm going to insert in the my child table. So these kind of things you have to prepare in the at the time of the test data. You have to consider this kind of information. This is called as a referential integrity. So you have to check the all what is the relation between the other tables for this table. How you are going to check means go to table, go to EMP, double click on the EMP, see here, and also you have the dependencies, but it will show somewhere. Or you can go to this one, go to constraint. So where is this table? Is a reference table. Seek in the reference table, relational tables. So SCOT, DPT, this is the column. Okay, so like that, if any other columns are there, so these all corresponding tables you have to first prepare the test data, and then only you can able to prepare your main table. So like that you have to understand the structure. Okay, and then only you can able to create the test data part. So this is depends upon the some project is required, some project it won't require, guys. Depends upon the test data availability in the your source system. Okay, and then we are going to start the test case preparation. So what kind of test cases we are going to prepare, that I will explain in the tomorrow class. And then first we'll see the run the ETL job, check the target data structure, write the simple to complex queries, SQL queries, check the expected results when the data source into multiple tables. So these all kind of test cases we are going to prepare in the as part of the testing phase, this phase. Okay. Next will be test execution. What kind of executions we are going to do, and then defect life cycle. Okay. These are the different kind of testing life cycle we are following in the as part of the ETL testing. Okay. I'm going to save this one. Save ETL life cycle. Okay. Next we'll go for the mapping document. We said the mapping document. So what is the mapping document? What kind of fields will be there in the mapping document? Okay. I will explain to you. I will share you some real-time mapping document also, guys. But first we understand the what kind of what is mapping document and all those things. So mapping document is nothing but the ingestion, data ingestion part from one layer to another layer, how it's going to ingest, for which column to which column is going to ingest, what kind of logics they are going to information, business logic they applied. So those all kind of information will be there in the mapping document. Okay. So in the mapping document, otherwise I will explain here. So we covered the as part of ETL validation, ETL testing overview. Okay. ETL testing life cycle. Okay. And then mapping document. Okay. Here the source table information will be there, guys. The mapping document source table information will be there, and then target table information is there, and then transformation rules or business rules. So these main three categories are there in the mapping document. These kind of three categories are there in the mapping document. In the source table again will be what is the schema, source schema, comma, source table, column, constraints, sorry, data types, along with the size, and then constraints. So these kind of information is there in the source table information. So in the source table, the source name, source schema, where it is come, which schema it will be, what is the table name, what are the columns are there, what are the data types for this column, each column. Okay, is there any constraints for this in this table? So this kind of information they are going to give in the source table in mapping document. The same thing here, the target also, same information will be there in the target. Target tables, target schema, target table columns, and data type, and then constraints. Okay, and then what is the logic? Business rule logic, business rule or business logic. So which logic they are going to implement here? So they explain the business logic for each column. What is the logic? Okay, so these kind of information in the mapping document. So they will ask in the interview point of view, can you tell me what kind of fields will be there in the mapping document? Can you explain the mapping document? What kind of fields are there? So you have to tell the source schema, source table, column, data type, constraint. So these are all kind of information is there in the mapping document. I'll show you one mapping document, and tomorrow I'll share the See guys, this is I told the target table information. The first will be so table name, column name, data type, constraints. Is there any referential tables, referential columns? Okay, and the status they developed or not, mapping. Okay, mapping rule. What kind of mapping rule business rule they implemented. Okay, and where it is coming from, this column. This column is coming from this text file txt, and this is the text file column and the data type. So these are the data type. See, this is the txt, right? That's why they mentioned the constraints, all those things. Okay, I'll show you tomorrow. I'll share the one more real-time document, but you have to understand first. So what kind of information is there in the mapping sheet? So like that, they are going to give the each column wise. They're going to give the logic. So the data type along with the size, and is there any data type constraints? It's a reference. So what is the reference key? Reference table, reference key, and where it is coming from, this column. So like that, all the information they're going to provide, guys. Okay. So like that, they're just developed the mapping. How many? What are the tables are there? How many are completed? How many to be mapped? How many are issues are there? How many total? Like that, they're going to give their status development. So this is the mapping document, guys. The real time it will be there like this. Okay, target table information, mapping information, and source table information. Okay, these three informations they will provide in the mapping. So we have to start the test cases accordingly. This one. So it's a direct column or derived column. What kind of logic they implemented. So all those things we have to prepare the test cases. Clear, guys? Mapping document. Understand, right? Mapping document. What kind of information they provided the mapping document. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to start the test cases. How we are going to prepare the test cases. Before we are going to start the execution. So what kind of test cases we are going to prepare as part of the ETL testing? What kind of validations we are going to do as part of ETL testing? First we'll understand these concepts, then we'll go for the testing execution. I will show you the Informatica tool and how we are going to execute the job and how we are going to see the data validation, what kind of queries we are going to prepare. That is in the next third class we are going to understand. Okay, clear, guys, up to now?
Yes.
I'm going to stop the recording.